Alright, today's February 1st, 2021, remote snow day, and for Algebra 2, we got 5.3 from the book. That is on page 346, add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. We're going to be talking about adding, subtracting, and what's important, what to know, but mainly we're going to be really focusing on the multiplication and the special products, which will come handy in your future math classes. So, before we say anything further, let's start with the warm-up question that we had. It was number 15, and it's a multiple choice. The reason I picked this question was the fact that if you read the question wrong, or if you don't pay attention to what you are reading, there is a huge chance of making a mistake. And that is the fact that it says 2x to the fourth power is subtracted from 8x to the fourth. So if you don't necessarily read carefully, you might write the first polynomial first, and then subtract the second one from that. But the question is actually telling me the opposite. The question is telling me to subtract the 2x to the fourth power one from this one. 8x to the fourth minus 4x to the third minus x plus 2 minus 2x to the fourth minus 8x squared minus x plus 10. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the like terms. So when we're talking about like terms and polynomials, that is the exponent. They need to be alike. So 8x to the fourth and 2x to the fourth are like terms, as well as I have an x and I have an x term, negative x, negative x. And last but not least, I have the constants over here. So those are my like terms. But meanwhile, I have some terms that are not like terms at all. So I need to make sure that I don't mess up my calculations because of the fact that I'm going to do a subtraction. And let's see. So 8x minus 4, 8x to the fourth, 8x to the fourth minus 2x to the fourth is 6x to the fourth. One thing I'm going to recommend you guys is go with the order of the exponents. The next term I have is negative 4x to the third, but I don't have any like terms. So negative 4x to the third minus 0. Negative 4x to the third minus 0. Still going to give me negative 4x to the third. So minus 4x to the third. That's gone too. Now next, I should work with my x squared term. But I don't have any x squared term over here. So it's 0 minus 0x squared minus negative 8x squared. And this is the part I want to point out. Very important, because minus and minus will make this a plus. Therefore, I'm going to be writing a plus 8x squared. So I got rid of this too. Now I have negative x minus x. Negative x minus x, which again will turn to a plus over here, and negative x plus x equals going to be 0. So I don't need to write that. So let's make this kind of big pluses over here. And lastly, I have my constants, which is 2 minus 10 is a minus 8. So your answer would be this. So I hope that points out why I want to make sure that you guys read your question carefully, even if it's as basic as a subtraction, and place them correctly, because otherwise all your answers are going to be opposite signs pretty much, and it's not going to be correct. And that's what I've been seeing all day today when I asked you guys to do this. Mainly the answers were changing in between A and B. There were times I also got D, but A and B was the most popular. So as you guys see, this answer is B. And this is, let's label this, this is page 349 and number 15. All right. So let's focus on what we're here for mainly, what we're going to talk about, I should say, and that is the key concepts here. These key concepts are very, very important. So, when I have an A plus B times A minus B, in other words, I have the same two variable and a number, let's say, like over here, x plus 4, but one with a minus, one with a plus. I call this the sum and the difference, but many of the books will call this the difference of two squares. And why they call it the difference of two squares? Because the answer over here comes out, see, a squared minus b squared. It is the difference of two squares. So these are the notes that we had. So I'm going to put this one on instead of the book, so we can go from this one. And this is the one that you're going to have in your Google Classroom as well. So there we go. I have difference of two squares that I call this one. But look, I also color-coded kind of. One with a plus, one with a minus. Sum and difference, or difference of two squares. Sum and difference, and the difference of two perfect squares. Then we have a square of a binomial. In other words, we called it the perfect square. And perfect square polynomial, or you can say perfect square trinomial, we also called it. Trinomial is a plus b times a plus b. Basically, you're taking the square of that, a plus b. It's no different than writing a plus b squared. And when you do that, a times a, so this is, everybody remembers the FOIL method. And then I have a times b. Then I have, again, these, and then multiply these. So a times a squared. A times b, 1ab. A times b, 1ab. Add them, there's two ab's. Times b, b squared. So as you see, purple heart I put over here, and another heart, purple heart I put over here. And I made the plus, what purple heart? Purple plus I put over here. And there's a purple plus sign over here. And same thing goes with the minus. If I'm subtracting a minus b and taking the square of that, in other words, like this, a minus b squared, the generic, the way that the pattern works out is a times a squared, but this time I have two negative ab's. Negative b times a is a negative ab. Positive a times negative b is negative ab again, negative 2ab. Plus b squared. Negative times negative is always going to give me a positive. And as you see, only thing difference is the middle term. And then we're going to talk about the cubes. And the cubes, all you need to know are these pattern openings. So a plus b cubed, a term is cubed, then 3 times a term squared b term, plus 3 times the a term, then b term squared, time, plus b cubed. So these are all patterns. And finally, I ask you guys to work on a few questions. And those questions were, let's see what I wrote on Google Classroom. And quickly. All right, so your homework is, and I definitely recommend you watching this video, numbers 38, 39, 40, 41, 43, and 44. Hopefully this helps, and I'll see you guys soon. So this is what we did. All the page numbers, etc. are all here. That was number 15. I worked it on a separate paper. And this is the notes. And again, these two are very, very important. Very important.